So here we are in the third video of the series so far for 2025. Last two videos talked about laying out PCBs for this MMO, the MiniMO clone. The finished product we can see here, this is just still from the website, from the product page. And this one I'm going to be talking a bit more about programming the device. So in the original, it's you used an Arduino or some other sort of ISCP, so in-circuit serial programming device. In this case, I use a USB ASP, which looks like this. This is the main board, so when you buy it from your favorite online retailer, it'll look a bit like this. Usually comes with a ribbon cable like that. For the purposes of programming the MMO and things like the castle and other modules that I've got, which are based on AT Tinies. I mean, this goes for anything which is based on a Tiny that uses this 6-pin programming header called ICSP. So we get this, and then in addition to this which you get from, as I say, your favorite online retailer, I use a little 6-pin header, so 2 rows of 3 pins, and plug them together. We plug a ribbon cable into the board like this, and the little 6-pin header goes on top of the into the 6-pin end of this ribbon cable. We can then connect that. So here we have the back side of the MMO, and you can see the 6-pin header position here. It's got VCC and ground marked, so you get it the right way around. And basically, yeah, in this case, I generally just hold the things in place because they don't want this permanently attached for don't want it soldered in. And you can see here that the VCC and ground markings are lined up with the VCC and ground markings on the device. And then you can use the Arduino IDE or whichever your favorite programming environment is to write code and program the device. So this is how would normally do it. So using the ICSP method, the hardware method, is all very well, but it's a bit of a faff to plug and unplug the modules from your rack when you want to change the program in this device. So something I did for the Core 1 module, which was released a few years ago. It's another module based on AT Tiny 85, and it uses an audio file to load the software. So in order to do this, it has a bootloader which came from this thing called Tiny Audio Boot. So it's originated a long time ago, 8 years ago. So this is another project which is open source, talks about how to set up your AT Tiny 85 to program with a audio file. So I've done a little bit of work on this, and I adapted it to work with the Core 1 hardware, and just yesterday, I updated it to work with this MMO. So this is again open source. It's on the Wonkystuff GitHub. I'll stick a link in the comments if you're interested. And it basically allows you to reprogram your MMO or your Core 1 using the Arduino environment and an audio file. So it seems to work quite nicely so far. You'll still need, if you've one of the people who've bought MMO before today, then the bootloader is not present in that. So you'll be using the ICSP mechanism up to now. But you can use that exact same mechanism to basically program this bootloader, and then from then on you can use audio files. So here we are in the Arduino development environment, known and loved by many. So to use the audio bootloader, we have to add a new board to the support to Arduino thing. So we go to settings and we can add in this URL, which is the Wonkystuff GitHub location of the board support package. There's instructions on, I've put instructions on the Wonkystuff website, so I'll give a link to those. So add that, and then when we look at the board support, board, you can go to Boards Manager, then it will give you a selection of all the boards that are available to add. So let's just search for Wonkystuff. Do that, and then we can install the board support. This hasn't been updated for a while, so actually this is still targeting the Core 1 and the two versions of Core that we make. I'll update it with an MMO target shortly. So we can select the version, we can click install, and stuff will be downloaded. And then, once that's downloaded, when we click on Tools, the board will have we'll have Wonkystuff boards here, and then a choice of target. For this case, it doesn't matter which one. Let's keep it as Core 1 Rev D. So this is the target which uses the audio bootloader. So from here we can, so we already selected the board, timer clock. I'm not sure I actually use that at the moment. LTO, which is the sort of optimization of the whole program. Generally, that's a good thing. Sample rate, this is a setting that some of the sketches used by the Wonkystuff Core 1 used. I probably will update the MMOs to use this. So it basically pre-configures some variables that you might want to use in order to get this audio sampling rate. So, I don't know, choose 10 for the moment. Port is irrelevant. Programmer is a WAV file. So, this is the algorithmic generator. So this is what, like a byte beat generator for the MMO. This is the same. This is the source code that's comes from the original place. So from the MiniMO synth website, kept all the headers, of course, because it's open source. And what we can do, we can click upload, and we'll hear a sound which is familiar to anyone who grew up in the 80s sort of home computer boom. There we go. That's the WAV file which contains all the information that we need. So of course that was just playing it through an audio file. Let's go through the bootloader process and see how that works. Okay, so now we've set up we've talked about the Arduino environment and we've plugged everything in. So we have this green jack here is plugged into the headphone output of my laptop. This black jack is connected to the mixer. So for the purposes of programming, we connect the green jack, so the headphone output of the laptop, through here into the programming input, which is input 4 of MMO. So input 3 and input 4, they're just the conventions from the original MiniMO. The only reason otherwise they'd be called input 1 and input 2, but for historical reasons, shall we say. So although we've got other modules in the way here, the important ones here are power, because it's supplying power, and the audio input and output, and MMO. So in order to enter programming mode, we can briefly unplug module. we have a button here which is a little tactile switch, so we hold the button down and plug it back in, and we'll see that the LED lights for a second or so and goes out. So once it goes out, we're in bootloader mode. We can then go to the Arduino environment, hit upload, it will compile the software and play the WAV file. We'll see a rapid blinking light on the MMO, and we're done, we're programmed. So this is the algorithmic software, the byte beat generator. So let's have a quick look at, we'll listen to see what it sounds like. So we can take the output here to the mixer input, and we've got some sound. Now each algorithm there's 3 parameters, and you flip between those parameters by a single click on the button. So you have effectively one active parameter at a time. So this is the default, how it starts. So we can take out. We have classic byte beat type sounds. One click, now we're a different parameter. Another parameter. And we're back to the first parameter. And then if we want to change algorithm, I think there's 4 or 5 different algorithms in here, we do a double click. And we're now a different byte beat algorithm. Again, the same thing, we change parameters one at a time. Another one. Classic little thing. So one of the things that we can do here is this input 3 is effectively automates the knob position. So we can take an LFO, for example, say the LFO from the castle here, plug it into input 3, and we can automate parameters or modulate the parameters. So a little bit of flexibility. Then you take the modulator out, and we're at this noise generator. Now you may have noticed, it's difficult not to, that when you switch parameters we go silent for a while. I fixed that in the firmware elsewhere, so that's going to be the subject of another video coming soon. So hopefully that was of interest, and maybe these videos are getting a little bit more complicated production wise, so let's hope it all works when I edit it together. Any questions, leave them in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer them. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.